Hello, Bronco fans and football fans everywhere. Welcome to Broncos Breakdown. This is a show where it's everything Broncos and sports related items in general. I am your host, Bronco Bill. Guys, what can I say that has not been said? I mean, my phone's been blowing up since yesterday. Here it is. The Broncos finally have their quarterback. But is it Aaron Rodgers? Answer, no. Aaron Rodgers is staying in Green Bay on a reported 4-year deal worth $200 million with $153 million guaranteed. Now, that tells me, guys, that he never, ever wanted to leave Green Bay. And the reason why he didn't want to leave Green Bay is because he wanted the money. He basically fleeced, and I do say fleeced, held his owner hostage per se, because he wanted the money. It's not about winning a Super Bowl. If it was about winning a Super Bowl, he would have gone to Denver, obviously, with the weapons the Broncos have. But he's more interested in the money. Why? Because he's greedy. Okay, guys, I'm not going to fault somebody for trying to get more money. That's their prerogative. But the way he went about it, lying, forcing his ideas and his ways and his wishes, and being a baby by saying that he's going to hold out. I'm not going to come back to Green Bay. I promise I'll never do that. Oh, wait a minute. Money? Okay, I'm staying. Yeah, because that's what greed does. He's not going after the ultimate prize of a Super Bowl. Obviously not. And you know what, guys? Like I said in videos past, I'm glad. I don't care because I never wanted Aaron Rodgers. Of course, if he went to Denver, obviously I would be in favor. But long term, he's only got a couple of 2-3 years left. The person I really wanted is the guy the Broncos got. That's right, guys. Broncos got a blockbuster deal for Russell Wilson, but they gave up a lot. And here's what the Broncos gave up. The Broncos gave up first round selection this year, draft 2022, first round 2023, second round 2022, second round 2023, and a fifth rounder 2022. But that's not where it ends. We also gave up Drew Lock, which I'm glad. Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Shelby Harris. That hurts. Shelby Harris really bothers me in this trade. I understand, you have to give up, some players. I'm just glad we didn't give up any receivers whatsoever. That being said, Shelby Harris, he just seemed to have a knack for the ball where the quarterback was going to throw it, what lane he was going to throw it into. And he would jump up and almost inevitably knock it down. Sometimes interception, sometimes deflect it for an interception. He was great in that aspect. But as an edge rusher, getting to the quarterback, not so good. But I understand you have to give up players at point in time. Now, we also gave up Noah Fant, which, Noah Fant had issues as a Bronco too. In some of his blocking and some of his schemes and things like that he did or didn't do. We kept Albert Okwuegbunam. Now that is great for me because I love Okwuegbunam. I think he's a great player. I think he's got a lot of upside, and he just has to stay healthy, just like all of our players have to stay healthy. Do I feel that giving up 2 firsts, 2 seconds, and a fifth is worth a Russell Wilson? Yes. In the long run, yes. Or actually I should say in the short run, because we don't know what those draft choices are going to be or how they're going to pan out for the Seattle Seahawks, or if the Seahawks trade down from the number 9 spot and pick up a couple more draft picks. We don't know what that number 9 pick is going to produce, or who it's going to produce, or what team that number 9 pick's going to. Right now, it's with Seattle, obviously. But to have Russell Wilson, the QB I wanted, and here's the reason why. I stated it in video shows before, but I'll reiterate it for those of you who may not have heard that or watched it. I could not trust an Aaron Rodgers as far as I could throw my house. There's no way I trusted him. And that's because he lies. He said he wasn't going to stay with Green Bay last year, and then he went back for the money. And then this year he said he's going to be thinking about retirement, doesn't know where he wants to go. He's kind of dangled the proverbial carrot in front of the Broncos' faces and the Titans and Pittsburgh. But then ultimately goes back to Green Bay because he took the owner as hostage. Basically took the owner as hostage at gunpoint. I mean, not realistically, guys. Don't go there. I'm just talking hypothetically. That's what he did by saying he wasn't going to come back to the Packers. Well, now he is. But a Russell Wilson has always he's a forthright guy. He didn't dangle his financial issues and his quarrels with Pete Carroll out to the public. He did not do that. He let his agent work behind the scenes. And I understand, and I got confirmation word, that the Broncos, since the Senior Bowl, had inside information from somewhere that Rodgers was going to stay in Green Bay all along, just using his leverage of lies and deception to get what he wanted. But when the Broncos heard that and found that out at the Senior Bowl, around the Senior Bowl time, they went ahead and started working eagerly with the Seattle Seahawks to acquire Russell Wilson. Now, just to remember, guys, or let me throw this out there. Russell Wilson was injured last year. He had an injury to his hand, his fingers, his thumb. And he had to pass his physical in order to have this blockbuster deal work out. But more importantly, he had to set aside his no trade clause. And guess what? He did both. He passed his physical, and he also waived his no trade clause. But he can't officially be announced as a Broncos franchise. I put that in quotes because it's probably only going to be 4 or 5 years max. It can't be solidified. It can't be etched in stone, and it can't be a finalized deal until the new NFL season, official season, March 16th. So on March 16th, it's going to be interesting. I definitely want to tune in to hear his press conference, to hear his welcome to the Denver Broncos media. I just want to hear this guy and hear what he has to say. He's an upright, has a lot of community work. He and his wife, and I just think it's just an awesome thing that we got Russell Wilson and not Aaron Rodgers. I am ecstatic, guys. I am so ecstatic. I cannot wait to see this team on the field. Do you realize that Russell Wilson's going to have the likes of an Okwuegbunam, a Cortland Sutton, a KJ Hamler, escapes me. Oh, help me, guys. I know you will. You're going to chime in. I understand. It's just, I am just so ecstatic to just have a Russell Wilson with his integrity and his gameplay and just his winning attitude. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He wants to be in Denver. He didn't stay in Seattle for any type of money. We don't know. I don't know what he's getting in Denver. That obviously hasn't been revealed yet. But regardless, he wants to win a championship. And he realized that he wasn't going to win it in Seattle, amongst other reasons. He had a fallout with Pete Carroll. But he's in Denver now with Nathaniel Hackett, head coach, with Clint Kubiak as a quarterback coach, and with all the weapons this Denver Broncos team has. I can't wait. Oh, Jerry Jeudy was another one. I'm sorry. Jerry Jeudy as well. And Tim Patrick. Okay, I covered it, guys. Anyways, I move on. Let me move on to another thing regarding Russell Wilson. Okay, Russell Wilson could also become the 5th quarterback in NFL history to beat all 32 teams. Now, the other 4 are Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Brett Favre. Now, Peyton Manning did it in Denver. And let's hope that Russell Wilson can also do it in Denver, along with the Super Bowl championship. That would be phenomenal. The 2 teams, obviously, he has never beaten Seattle because he plays his first 10 years in Seattle. So obviously, he never beat the Seahawks. But the one that surprises me is he's never beaten the Chargers. Why does that surprise me? Well, I don't know if a lot of you guys might not be old enough to know, but Seattle Seahawks used to be in the AFC West. Now, of course, that was pre-Russell Wilson, so obviously that wasn't the case. But that was just a footnote, guys, that the Seattle Seahawks used to be in the AFC West. Anyways, Russell Wilson, being on the Broncos now, is going to be traveling. The Broncos are traveling to Seattle for a game sometime this year. It hasn't been, the schedule hasn't come out as to what days, what dates, that kind of thing. But the game is in Seattle sometime this upcoming football season. Russell Wilson will have an opportunity to beat his former team. Wonder what kind of reaction Russell Wilson's going to get when he goes back to Seattle. Obviously, I mean, the fans are fully aware that, he had a falling out with Pete Carroll. And obviously, according to ownership and the GM and all of that, one of them had to go. Well, thank goodness it was Russell Wilson that they agreed to let go, because he's now wearing the orange and blue very, very soon. So he traded, or I should say, not he personally, but Russell Wilson wears number 3. So did Drew Lock. So basically, they're trading uniforms with the same number. Which one's going to have more success? Obviously, Russell Wilson. Hands down. No doubt about it. So welcome the really awesome number 3, Russell Wilson. Cannot wait to see him in a Bronco uniform for sure. So that being said, Russell Wilson could become the 5th quarterback player in NFL history to beat all 32 teams. He has two chances against the Chargers, obviously, home and away, but he only has 1 chance in the next 4 years to beat Seattle. So let's hope that that totally takes place. Love to see it. All right, I move on. I am going to switch to Von Miller. Now, Von Miller has hinted at wanting to come back to the Denver Broncos. Now, he hinted at this prior to the Broncos trading for Russell Wilson. He even hinted that I wonder if I'll get my old locker back, or my number 58. And he also put out on Twitter, said, hey, guys, when I come back to Denver, and "when" was in quotes, when I come back to Denver, should I keep number 40 or should I go back to 58? So he really wants to come back to Denver. His heart is in Denver. His home is in Denver, or was. I presume it's still there, although I heard that he sold it, so not sure. He never wanted to leave Denver. But business is business, and sometimes you got to make a deal, and it was a phenomenal deal by George Paton. He got 2 seconds. Okay, we gave one of them away to Seattle. We still own our second-round pick. Yes, it's number 64 because the Rams won the Super Bowl, but it's still a pick. And what did we lose? We didn't lose anything. We gained a Russell Wilson because a number 2 was thrown in. this year as well as next year. So, anyways, I digress. We want, or I should say, I want Von Miller back. I would love to have Von Miller back, even if it's for 1 or 2 years, just to have that opportunity again to play with a future Hall of Fame quarterback. Remember, guys, he played with Peyton Manning and won Super Bowl 50 as MVP. How awesome would it be for him to come back and be on this team that potentially could win a 4th Super Bowl with another future Hall of Fame quarterback in Russell Wilson? I say yes. Let's bring it back. I don't care if he wears 40. He can wear 40 all he wants. I just want the name Miller on the back of his jersey, whether it's 40 or 58. So I sure hope that he comes back. I'm not the GM. I don't know the circumstances behind it, but I would love to have Von Miller back. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. Now, I go to, let's see. Let me go to the jackass of the week. Okay, now the jackass of the week is twofold, or I should say 1 and 1A. First, let's go to they're both real jackasses, but let me go to the first one. Calvin Ridley has been suspended indefinitely due to him betting on NFL games when he took some time away from the game for personal reasons. He bet on multiple games as well as his own Atlanta Falcons. Come on, guys. Are you kidding me? Okay, I understand you walked away from the game because of medical issues or personal issues or whatever the deal was. But you know full well that you cannot bet on NFL games if you are employed by the NFL. I mean, guys, think about it. Any job that you do, any job that you're working at, there are rules and restrictions. Don't steal. Don't whatever. Obviously don't steal. There's other issues of no sexual harassment, no defamation of character, different things that I've even had to deal with in my job that I had. Okay, so everybody knows in the NFL what you are not supposed to do. You're not supposed to take steroids. You're not supposed to take any performance-enhancing drugs. And you're not supposed to bet on your team or any team in the NFL that you are a part of. Sure, people say, well, he wasn't on the field. I mean, he wasn't playing, so he couldn't actively, alter the game. Doesn't matter. Excuse me, guys. It doesn't matter. That's not the rule in the NFL. The rule in the NFL is don't bet on the NFL if you're employed by the NFL, period. Doesn't matter if you're playing or not. Pete Rose in baseball bet in baseball. And he is suspended. Obviously he's not in the Hall of Fame because of that. People say, well, he was a coach, so he could have altered. Sure, he could have. And that was another reason probably why he's not in the Hall of Fame, because it was a little bit more extensive than what Calvin Ridley did. But it's still betting on teams, or even your own team, that is forbidden by the league that you are playing in or a part of. It doesn't matter. Let me ask you a question, guys. Okay? Let me ask you a question. Even if he wasn't playing and he's sitting at home rehabbing or thinking about, I'm talking about anybody with an injury, not just Calvin Ridley, but anybody. Okay? Let's just say that somebody's at home rehabbing from an injury and they take performance enhancing drugs or they take steroids that are forbidden by the NFL. Should they be punished if they're found out? Absolutely they should, because they should know better. They should know they can't do that. Why are they throwing their career and their livelihood and their income and their reputation. Why are they throwing that away? Because they don't think. They think they're above the NFL rules. They think that, wow, look who I am. You know who I am. I'm Calvin Ridley, man. I'm a wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm awesome. No, you're stupid. You're a jackass of the week because you don't think. Because you do stupid things. I don't know what comes over these guys that have all this money and their opportunity of a lifetime that 99% of football fans would love to have that position. Not necessarily wide receiver, but the position of being in the NFL, making that kind of money. And then they just throw it away. And so Calvin Ridley is suspended indefinitely, obviously through the 2022 season. And it could be beyond that. Not sure. Not sure. Now there's been some, I've gotten some comments from people that say, how could he be suspended for the entire 22 season and possibly beyond for betting on the NFL when other athletes, beat and abuse their spouse or their girlfriend or whatever, and they only get suspended for 3 or 4 games. Well, my answer to that is one's criminal and the other is against the league. So if it's against the league can do whatever it wants to impose. I mean, they could kick him out indefinitely or they could suspend him for 25 minutes. They have that right. Nobody else can come in and say anything differently. But when it's a criminal act that is reported to the police and then goes to, let's say, a trial or something, then the NFL can suspend them for the minimal or for whatever they feel because it's really out of their hands. It really is. It's now in the hands of the police department and the criminal justice system. So to me, those are two different things, but excuse me, guys, got a little tickle in my throat. I guess because I'm so pumped up about all this stuff. But that to me is the reason why the NFL can do what they want on a Calvin Ridley situation, but their hands are basically tied when it comes to, like, say, a Deshaun Watson, because that's a criminal situation. So I think those are two different things, but Calvin Ridley should really have known better. He should have thought through the process, realized that he was putting himself in jeopardy. Falcons players and teammates and coaches and stuff say they had no idea he was doing this. And he was found out because he used his own account. Again, jackass move. Definitely jackass move. Now, the 1A jackass in this segment is Aaron Rodgers. Again, I go back to him because of his deception, because of his lies, because of his manipulation. And to me, that's a jackass move. Now, could I classify him as a jackass of the week? Not really. I'll just classify him as a total jackass. I hope you lose, Aaron. I hope you lose everything that you supposed to be chasing, which is a championship, and that you're happy in your $200 million when you walk away from the game and Eli Manning has more championships than you, and hopefully Russell Wilson will have more championships than you. So, I know you're going probably to the Hall of Fame, but you're still a jackass. So be the first jackass in the Hall of Fame in recent years. All right. Let me go and wrap this whole thing up on a interesting note. Now, Brian Griese, a former Denver Bronco quarterback, Brian Griese, I believe he wore number 14, has now been hired by the 49ers to be their quarterback coach. Brian Griese leaves ESPN as an analyst to join the 49ers. Now, I find that interesting because Brian Griese wasn't all of that when it comes to the quarterback position in Denver. To me, he was not a franchise quarterback. He was okay. I guess I definitely would put him, above Drew Lock, but I wouldn't put him in the same category as even a Derek Carr, Derek Carr is much better. I wouldn't even put him in the category. He's more or less in the category of a John Lynch, not John Lynch, Paxton Lynch, or a Brock Osweiler. He's kind of in that category. He wasn't stellar. He wasn't standout. He was basically the quarterback after John Elway retired, and didn't really do much. So I find it very, very interesting that he would be the quarterback coach for the 49ers. That really kind of surprised me. I'm happy for him. I really am. Anytime that a guy like that can move up, a former Bronco player, moved his way up onto the ESPN to be an analyst, and now he's going to be the quarterback coach for the 49ers. I wish him all the best. Just not when we play the 49ers, which we will this upcoming season, because the Denver Broncos are playing the NFC West. And that means Seattle, San Francisco, and St. Louis. Not St. Louis, Arizona. Sorry, Arizona Cardinals. So we're playing those three teams. So, yes, he will see his former team, his former coach, his former city, his former stadium, but the visitors' locker room in Seattle. He'll also face he also faces the Rams too. We play the Rams in LA. So we got the Rams, 49ers, the Cardinals, and Seattle. It's going to be interesting games. And as we get closer to preseason, I will be definitely giving out my prediction for how the Broncos I feel will fare this year, especially with Russell Wilson at quarterback. I will definitely give my predictions, and then I will update them right before the start of the season to see if anything's changed since preseason. So that's it, guys. That's all I have. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Remember to tune in to MHRT Flagship Podcast live every Tuesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7, hosted by Mundungus Creevy, along with others on there as Glenn and Mr. Boggins and Richie Rich. Also on Wednesday, please look at or watch my video, Broncos Breakdown on MHRT Network, premiering every Wednesday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Live chat, guys. You could chat about the topics, and so please tune in for that. And then on Thursday is Nothing Rhymes with Orange and Blue podcast, hosted by Johnny and his co-host Isaiah. That goes live every Thursday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then on Friday, it is the guy. Isaiah's gonna kill me. Rough Draft. I'm sorry, Isaiah. Rough Draft is uploaded every Friday, 4, 5, 6, and 7. It's a premiere every Friday, hosted by Isaiah. Talks about the topics of the possible draft picks that the Broncos are going to now relinquish in the first round, but we'll have second, third, and so forth. So, guys, have a wonderful rest of the week. We will talk to you next Tuesday at 4, 5, 6, and 7, and next Wednesday, same time, MHRT Network premiere 4, 5, 6, and 7. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.